not related to the public hearings. Just a reminder, we have several days off coming up. Election Day, Veterans Day, and Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving are days off for the town for November. And we have received a letter of resignation for Stacy Lacari, our councilwoman, due to her having to move. And I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Stacy Lacari.
I'll second with regret.
For vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Krasowski,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes. So we're going to have 3 public hearings tonight. The first one will be the 2017 preliminary High Falls water budget. The second one will be the 2017 preliminary town Rosendale budget. And the third is the 2017 tax cap override. Mandy, you want to? You ready?
Yep. Got it.
Let's start with the High Falls.
Okay. Notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Rosendale will be holding a public hearing November 2nd, 2016 at 7 p.m., 1915 Lucas Avenue, Cottington, New York, 12419, to consider the advisability of adopting the 2017 budget for the High Falls Water District by the order of the town board dated October 26, 2016, Mandy Conlon, town clerk.
So just a little review of the budget. It is very close to last year's budget. The same amount of money is on the tax levy. And does anybody in the public have a question or a comment they'd like to make regarding this?
Regarding the budget?
The High Falls Water District budget? We can have one open and move to the next meeting. All right, so we'll keep this open for at least another half hour, and we'll move on to the town budget. Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
Please take notice that a public hearing pursuant to town law section 108 shall be held at the Rhinebeck Municipal Center, 1915 Lucas Avenue, Cottington, New York, on the 2nd day of November 2016 at 7 o'clock in the PM for the public to be heard on the preliminary budget for the town of Rosendale, including the High Falls Water District year 2017. The preliminary budget is available on, sorry. Annual salaries for elected officials are proposed as follows. Town board, $6,498 each for 4. Town supervisor, $40,000. Highway superintendent, $54,881. Town clerk, $32,894. Tax collector, $9,883.80. Town justice, $15,448 for 2. All persons interested and citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard on the said preliminary budget at the time that is aforesaid. By the order of the Rosendale Town Board dated 10/26/2016, Nancy McDonald, Town Clerk.
Okay, before we start, I would just like to introduce some recommended changes for the budget based on conversations had with the board. First, I'd just like to clear up that On the first page, under Bloomington Fire Company, the tentative budget for 2017 should be $262,822. The LoSAP was included in the original document, and that needs to be clarified. So that 335,664 includes the 72,840. So on page 2, on the final budget, Justice A1110.1, if we change the final budget to $77,540.
What page are you on?
Page 2.
The top, under justice. Yeah,
Be highlighted, right. Are you looking at the new one or the?
not
old?
on their council.
I didn't give them that. This is all, that's the budget that's proposed to the public, so I'm making recommendations. If
The
you look-
fourth line down.
The last line under final, A110.1,
Right.
What are we
See-
page
see-
2.
Yeah,
Page two.
It's under justice is PS, see? Justice is PS, A1110.1,
Yeah.
77,540.
that's the suggested change, recommended change to that one.
Yes.
I think it might be updated on something.
Okay.
It's,
Mandy, would you check, is
The
the
highlighted
highlighted
top
ones with the
and
highlights on it?
actually, it is the.
No, she's got both, Mandy
I
put the
have
one
both.
out that was publicized, Jill put a
New one.
new one for the changes, if anybody wants to take a look.
That's this one. So the new changes are gonna be highlighted, like this. All right?
Okay. Under A1220.1, supervisor PS, that'll be changed to 77,500. Under town clerk, 1410.1, 53,955. Actually, under data processing, 1680.1, that will be changed to 80,000. Under traffic control, on page 3, 3310.2, changed to 12,000. Under OSHA, 3389.1, changed to 6,700. Under dog control PS, 3510.1, 26,500. Under highway superintendent PS, 5010.1, 73,082. Under playground rec, 7140.1, that will change to 47,500. Under pool CE, 7150.4, that will be changed to 84,200. Under youth program, 7310.1, that's changed to 63,400. Page 5. Under DDA PS, 8010.1, that's changed to 3770. Under planning PS, 8020.1, changed to 11,310. Under refuse and garbage, PS 8160.1, changed to 50,000. On page 6, under revenues, 1120 is 97,155. Under A2001, park and rec charges, 31,500. Zoning fees, 2110, change to 1,000, and 2115 to 5,000. Service other government, 2,300 to 105,000. On page 7, building permits, 2,555 to 50,000. Landfill permits, 2,590 to 23,000. Mortgage tax, 3005 to 86,000. 38 youth programs, 3820 to 50,000. Under highway, page 9, employee. I'm sorry. 8. I'm sorry, 8. Thank you, Jill. Employee medical benefits, 167,000. On page 9, under CHIPS, 3501, 90,000. And that, I believe, is the last of the changes. Except that on the front, that changes the total budget to a 3.41 increase. The general fund will be 96,392 raised. Highway will be 765 with a 0.07%, and we have a negative on the sewer. Water's the same. Sure.
Under the traffic control.
Yep.
Well, first, I guess the question is, can we put, is the 10,000 that we got as a grant now reflected in?
No.
So we can't add it?
If we could add it right now, then we could put it in the revenue too, if you want to do that.
So what you did is you.
I only put
reversed.
I didn't put that added in. No, you and I made a change based on what we thought our portion would be.
Right,
If
right.
I add that back in, I can add it in and put it into government revenue, and we can do that right now. if you
Right,
want to do that.
I mean, it's there, we're
Yep.
definitely
So
gonna get it.
it's gonna be a wash,
Right,
because the
right.
expenditure is the same, right?
Right.
So, that's,
So this was highway
Hmm?
signage?
signage.
Signage.
Oh,
That's for
signage.
we've received a grant for $10,000 from Greenway, right?
Hudson River Valley Greenway Conservancy.
To put signage up for, the rail trails,
Mhm.
based on our plans.
And
And we'll still have to pay a portion of it, and we're looking for some other sources of money, but we don't want to say until we have something in writing from them, so.
Along those lines,
Yes,
how much property in the town of Rosendale is off the tax roll?
I don't have that answer. You'd have to ask the assessor that question, but
It seems to me that in the last decade, we have a lot of property that's off the tax roll.
if you could just wait a minute, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to speak your mind about the
Okay,
budget,
I'll
okay?
wait.
I just want to clarify some things on the numbers before we go forward. I'd rather not waste people's time
Sure.
discussing numbers that probably will get
Understood.
changed. So, just remind me where that line is. Oh, here it is, page 3.
Page 3.
We're going to change the 3310.2 to 20,000.
So the 12 is going to be 20.
No, yes, no, I'm sorry, it'll be 22,000. It'll be 22,000, and then we
Right.
will add 10,000 to the,
revenue.
to serve, it's not a government
Isn't there a grant category?
contract. Miscellaneous, it's been out here.
State aid, public safety.
Hmm?
State aid, public safety.
Or service?
It's not state aid, though, it's a private organization, it's not state, so.
I think, isn't it for the DEC? Oh, no, who is that?
No, it's federal, it's through.
Okay, I think we
It's a
can-
state agency.
It is a state agency.
All right, we're gonna put it under state aid other, under 3089, page 7. So that's gonna be $10,000 under there. Which will wash the increase.
Right.
So, I know people have had some concerns when they see the budget. We are talking about an override. The general fund does not have much fund balance to be able to compensate the budget, to be able to bring it under the tax cap. It was my opinion, and I think the board agrees, that it would be risky to, increase a portion of the money where we usually say unexpended balance. We balance that out with some money from the fund that's in reserve. We have a very low reserve, so we don't want to make that step. We did put a small amount, $65,000 from the highway fund. They have a little bit more money in the pot than the general fund does. And unfortunately, you can't take from one fund to the other, so that puts us in that position. The other thing that I want to point out is we have a state mandated increase for minimum wage that the governor has put in place. Many of you have heard about it, a lot of chatter, about the $15 minimum wage. What the governor has put in place is a 70-cent increase. We have calculated that if we follow the minimum wage increases for our lowest paid employees, they will be making what our middle range employees make. So we've made the decision that we need to give increases to the other level employees in order for that to be fair. Because otherwise, our summer help and our youth workers who typically work for the summer will be making either the same or almost the same as some of the low-level clerks. So once we bump up the clerks, we have a problem because our department heads are making very low salaries. So the board basically requested that we make this move now, make that change at this point rather than have employees. One of the things that's been happening is we are training employees and then moving on to jobs at other locations, other towns. We're spending thousands of dollars on training, and then they don't stay because they get paid a better salary in other towns. So we were significantly lower than other towns, so some of what you see is an increase in that. One of the other things I know, I saw some chatter on Facebook and on the paper about the increase in the pool, and I just want to clarify that the increase on the pool is twofold. We have a longer season next year because we had a short season, so what you're seeing is an increase to open the pool for more weeks. And of course, even though it shows more in the expenditure, it also means there's more in the revenue. So if you look at the pool lines for revenue, that is also increased to show some balance in that. We did add a $50,000 to the pool, one of the pool lines for the engineering that we still have to pay for with the bathhouse work that's being done. Even though we're getting the grant money, we have engineering costs that we have to take care of. So those were the two things that I saw some comments on. I just wanted to clarify.
I'd just like to add that, we have very hard-working staff, and the board felt very strongly that they needed to be paid a livable wage, and it's long overdue, and we're very happy to do that.